Good evening. It has been the honor of my life to serve our community in Congress, to represent the people of our 10 counties, and I thank you all for putting your trust in me again and re-electing me for another 2 years. When I was elected in 2018, I pledged to work every single day to reward the trust that you, the voters, placed in me. I have worked to find common ground at home in the district and on Capitol Hill, introducing and passing legislation on issues as varied and as important as lowering the cost of prescription drugs, smartly securing our border, protecting Americans from foreign hacking, and securing funding for broadband internet. I said I would find common ground, and I said I would hold my ground when necessary, and I have done just that, to fight for our communities and to protect our country. I have listened to the people who elected me as well as those who did not. I have endeavored to be an accountable representative through town halls, public meetings, and consistent correspondence. I have worked for the issues, the priorities, and the people, most of all the people of this district. 2 years ago, I stood before a ballroom of well-wishers who came to hopefully celebrate the success of a campaign focused on what we are for, what I would work for and fight for. They came to celebrate a campaign centered on the stories of people, the people I hoped to represent. And today, after nearly 2 years representing this district, I am ever more grateful to know the stories of those I represent. The cattleman in Louisa foregoing health insurance to keep his family farm afloat. The grandparents driving their grandkids from Nottoway to Chesterfield every Friday to use the internet at the public library. The veteran in Powhatan who, in the face of illness and hardship, has inspired me with his strength and his fight. The family in Henrico whose father got a second job to pay for his wife and his children's insulin. The federal prison guard who, right alongside all of his colleagues, worked for weeks without pay during the government shutdown. The restaurant owner who is fighting to keep his restaurants, gathering places in our communities afloat during the pandemic. The small business owner in Chesterfield whose family business couldn't and didn't survive. And the minister who lost his wife to COVID-19. And all the other people across our district who are suffering, facing challenges, and wanting a government and a representative who hears and sees them, and most of all, works for them. I will continue to be that representative. Thank you to our congressional team, dedicated public servants committed to our constituents and the legislation that impacts them. Thank you to our campaign team members who have enthusiastically traveled across the district, connecting with voters. Thank you to the volunteers who have spent hours upon hours delivering signs, calling voters, and working to ensure that during this challenging time of the pandemic, we could ensure that voters knew how to make their voices heard. Thank you for your commitment and your belief in our campaign and our community. Thank you to my husband, my sweet daughters, my parents, my family and friends who have supported us. Thank you to the voters who put their trust in me. I am grateful for your confidence and your votes. And as we celebrate tonight, I know there are many who cast a different vote and who volunteered for a different candidate, and they're disappointed. I hope over time I will earn your trust as a representative, even as we disagree. I thank you for your engagement. And I thank Delegate Freitas for a hard-fought campaign. And I thank his wife, Tina, and their children for their roles in making his service in the General Assembly and his work along the campaign trail possible. As we face continued struggles in our country, especially as we work to defeat this virus, I am driven not just by the stories of hardship, but also by the stories of promise. The teenagers in Orange County who believe in the possibility and future of our country and organize to encourage voting and civic participation. Little Amaya and Angeline, 2 little girls who dream of being doctors so they can someday help people. Kaiwan, who cast his first vote this year and wants to be a police officer serving our community. And little Giovanni, whose father believes in and voted to achieve a stronger future for his son. May their belief in helping others, their belief in our great nation, be an inspiration to us all. And may we, the adults, the leaders of our communities and our country, set an example worthy of them and their promise. And as President Abraham Lincoln once said of our common fate as Americans, May our children and our children's children, to 1,000 generations, continue to enjoy the benefits conferred upon us by a united country. Let that be the country we continue to build for them and someday leave to them. Be safe, be well, and thank you so much for your support.